What is going on, YouTube people? Today, just a little chat, some G-rated C-tier content. Yesterday was Thanksgiving. Fantastic time with the family. As always, Thanksgiving still remains one of probably the favorite of the yearly holidays, even over Christmas. You know, when you're a kid, I think Christmas is the leader in the clubhouse. And then as the gift like nature becomes less of a priority, Thanksgiving has definitely taken over as my favorite of the seasonal holidays. Things have really sucked lately in the sports card and just general collectible space the last few weeks, with between the shill bidding stuff, the more shill bidding stuff, the drama around that. And just in general, it's been just like every year, there is lots of drama and nonsense. And some of it gets amplified because we're in this little social media bubble that I've talked about that we kind of live in here in the YouTube verse or IG or Twitter, whatever social that you're active on, maybe all of them. But as I discussed in the live stream, I think generally speaking, a vast majority of folks that interact with collecting don't even realize that a lot of this stuff is even going on. We are a bubble inside of a bubble inside of a bubble of people that are hyper focused on this stuff. And it's even more so for me as a content creator to fall into this trap, because I feel like I need to pay attention to every single little thing so I could be informed to make content. And also to just, even if I'm not making content on a particular item, I still feel like I need that knowledge base back there in case someone asks me a question about it, or it might inform something else that's going on that's completely unrelated, that maybe the pieces fall together in. And, prices have been getting more expensive. People feel priced out. Scams are up. Like all the nonsense is still there. But I think sometimes we forget, and myself included, how truly lucky we are that we are in a place, whether you're watching or commenting on this video, that in our day-to-day lives we have the time, the ability to basically go online and yell about sports cards or Pokemon cards or comic books, of all things. And there's some real shit going on out there for a lot of folks. I am extremely blessed that I don't have a lot of the things going on that I know a lot of people do out there. When you look around, and it's one of those things of like, you really don't know what someone is going through until you sit in their chair or in their shoes or whatever little phrase you want to throw in there. But the world really sucks for a lot of folks, and a lot of folks out there have legit very, very big concerns in their day-to-day life. And when you sit back and think about it, we're pretty goddamn lucky that a major issue for us to get passionate about, to go yell about, is the fact that a Topps Chrome jumbo box is more expensive than we like, or that a particular seller that left eBay to start his own website and it crashed and burned and customer data got leaked. And that sucks. Don't get me wrong. I'm not excusing this stuff at all. And now the fact that they're back on eBay again and there's a bunch of controversy around that. Like, if that's the biggest drama and problems in our day-to-day lives, then we're probably better off than a lot of other folks out there. And I think, like I said, I think we forget about that sometimes. It's easy to get caught up in the hype and the drama because it's all that social media, whether it's in cards or not, or collectibles or not, just life in general. It's what the algo is going to throw at you, because that's what viewers want to watch. They want to watch the car wreck. They want to know about the drama. They care, to bring it back down to collectibles. I genuinely think in some cases, at least in this community, the social media community around collectibles, they would rather watch content about two content creators fighting or drama or beef between two individual creators than they actually care about the cards in some instances. And I get it. Guilty as well. I have plenty of collector focused style videos that come up on my YouTube subscription feed, and I blow past most of them. And I click on the clickbaity ones because I'm like all of you. I fall into the same trap. So I think it's good every once in a while. You know, we kind of did like a little bit of a reflection thing with looking through the collection in Wednesday's video. But this was just the thoughts going through my head on this Thanksgiving holiday as I'm recording this actually Friday morning. I'm going to post it Friday afternoon. That I just think we forget sometimes that, you know, the steal a sports card radio phrase, you know, pictures of men are the biggest deal in our day-to-day, that we have nothing else terrible going on that we need to come online and vent about pictures of men in plastic cases that we sent to other men to put, or and women, to put grades on them or to ship them or the whatever. It like, if that's the biggest angst in our day-to-day lives, we're living pretty freaking good. You know, collecting is supposed to be fun, relaxing, stress-free. It's supposed to be the escape from the day-to-day drama. And what do? We come to collectibles and we search out the drama, or in some cases, the drama smacks you in the face. We get wrapped up in it because your personal data got leaked, or someone shillbid you, or someone ripped you off, or someone ripped your buddy off, or someone scammed you or scammed your friend. Like, it is tough to avoid, but at the same time, let's realize how fortunate we are and why we're all here to begin with, because in some shape or form, we have this itch to want to basically be a curated hoarder, for lack of a better term. You know, we're hoarders, but have a very specific, you know, niche that we're hoarding in. Some people's are more broad than that. It's a little bit more curated. We hope that there's value associated in it, you know, to a degree where I stole this from Flipping Steve years ago. We are, I think, in a lot of cases, chasing memories of better times. You know, I've said it before. I open a box of 92 Jim Lee X-Men or 90 Marvel Universe, and it takes me back to a certain time in my life. We are chasing that little hint of nostalgia that teleports us back to a simpler time in our life. You know, when I look at early 90s Marvel cards, I immediately think of going to flea markets with my grandfather, because I would go to flea markets with him in the summer all the time. And when you would go to flea markets back in the 90s, there would always be card and comic book dealers. And I would always run to those tables to try to put my sets together and pick up singles and buy comic books and buy cards. And it's that memory that I'm chasing, that time in my life, spending time with it. I'm lucky my grandfather's still alive, so I still get to spend time with him today. I did yesterday. But in a lot of cases, I think we collect to chase those little memories, those little bits that we have out there. And so, like I said, some of it is definitely financially motivated. People are full-time dealers. This is their living. This is their day job. That is not most of us, even people consuming this channel. Now, a lot of us have turned it into successful side hustles to some degree, where you're making money buying and selling and flipping, where you're making money doing content, where you might be a full-time dealer, a part-time dealer, maybe a shop owner. There's definitely people that make this more than just that. But I think for a decent portion of people watching this, you fall more into, I'm chasing a little bit of nostalgia. I want to collect this set, comic book, card, whatever it is, from my childhood that I couldn't afford back then, but I can now. I think that's where a bulk of us sit. And then, like I said, maybe some of us make a little scratch on the side to help pay for the stuff that we really want to own. That's all completely normal. But I think the main takeaway I want you all to kind of let sit with you from this is we are truly lucky that if coming online and bitching about cards and collectibles and the drama that surrounds them is the biggest deal in our day-to-day life, we're pretty lucky. Heavy video today. We'll be back for some fun on the weekly sports card market update on Sunday and some more fun Saturday evening. I will be live with my comic book buddies for another episode of The Ungraded Truth. So if you're into more of the comic book side, though I'm sure we'll be talking about some of the card drama that has been going on recently as well, I will be live Saturday night with those boys across all of our channels. You can find that one. Hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. For those of you in the States, catch you boys and girls on the next one. Peace.